Hey guys, mobile gamers unite. I hope everyone's doing awesome today. It's been an awesome day. As you could probably tell, I'm pretty happy. Okay, we had the update today, the official May 16th update. Okay, and to some people this wasn't a big deal, and I'll explain why. Okay, and why I'm not mad at them for it. It makes perfect sense why it's not a big deal to some people. Okay, but to other people this was a big deal. We got a new faction today. We actually got the faction buffer. What's that dude? I want to call him Lanford. I know his name's not Lanford. Landon? Well, whatever it is. We'll get into it. I started this video out right here just because I wanted to kind of show how awesome Juggler and Lestelle can be together. Like, Juggler can actually stand alone with a Dark Reincarnate faction, and he can actually bring a lot to the table to it. It's ridiculous, especially if that Dark Reincarnation faction unit, or that team, is running Lestelle, because Lestelle and Juggler together are just dumb shit crazy from the back. It's ridiculous how much healing there's going on, and then Lestelle's also cock blocking the enemy from healing themselves. Juggler's healing left and right. You're getting healed in the middle of your enemy's combat phase, which builds up your troops, so it really makes it harder for your army to get killed, as long as you have Lestelle and Juggler out there in the front lines, just because you're going to be mitigating so much damage from instant constant healing. And then you don't have to run a healer, obviously, and Juggler can still put up great damage. Lestelle can put up great damage, so it's awesome to run them together. Okay, and it's fun sometimes to run a Juggler as a standalone, because he also has his own fusion and B-Shock, and that's all you need. He has Vampire Bass to stay alive, and as long as you build him with high hit points, running him with a Dark Reincarnation team, especially if you have Lestelle, guys, try it out if you haven't done it. Okay, anyway, so about today's update, it was phenomenal. We're gonna get right into it right now. I just wanted to show you guys that I've been grinding out experience potions, and I'll show you exactly why. It's because, first of all, disclaimer, I actually did test these units out today, which is why I'm recording this video so late. I got them to at least level 45 to 50, somewhere in there, to unlock some of their abilities, because I had to see how these things actually work before I said a damn thing about it. Okay, especially with Mr. Not Lanford's tanking ability. In fact, let me get right into him real quick so I stop butchering his name. But honestly, guys, most people can't even pronounce my name, so I don't feel bad about the fact that I'm not good with names. Meh. What are you gonna do? It's my one weakness, okay? If I didn't have a weakness, I'd be Superman. It wouldn't be fair for the rest of y'all. Anyway, where is our buddy? He should be down here towards the bottom. There he is. I got him to level 46. And I ran these characters in Guild War, and I ran them in a level 45. You know what I mean? So I had a good idea of how they perform and how everything works with them. Whoa, why are we glitching out? What's going on? Well, this is the equipment I have on him, and it's not much. So it's not an optimal build at all, but I had to throw something on him so he feasibly had some actual stats. Okay, but I did have to level him up, obviously, enough to get his fusion power. So yes, this has been fusion power tested. And first things first about the fusion power, just because of the simplicity of it, it's great. And it's going to increase average damage, okay? And because chances are it's going to be active. You're not going to have attack class priority over most things, or else the game would just be too damn easy. Okay, you gotta like kind of pick and choose your party to work around certain maps, because you know there's a bunch of lancers, or you know, well, in a lot of maps there's just a mixed bag of enemies, and you know, to beat the boss at the end, you need this set up, and you have to fight these guys along the way, and you're not going to be strong to any of them. And with this, if you're not strong against your opponent, pretty much, you have 15% more damage. It's awesome, on top of being a fusion and giving these characters a lot of stats. And let's look at it. First of all, what's great about these two characters in particular is that they are with the protagonists, so that's good. That's good for a new account. For my free-to-play account, we're going to be talking about the Untitled Legends faction team, but the other faction that these two belong to, what are these, Scions of Light, whatever it is with Matthew and Almeda, it's great that they put them in with that. Okay, it is so great that both of these guys belong with Almeda and with Matthew, and that's awesome, because you quite literally, even if you just started right now, you could pull these two characters off this banner and you could be set. Okay, because they're going to bank off of Matthew's fusion power, and they're going to be effective there. Okay, so that's really cool, and I don't want that to be overlooked. This is great for new players. All right, my free-to-play account is banking off of this. I wish I had Landis here. I wish I had Landis on my free-to-play account. I would do the fun little tank thing with him and have him run all over the place. This is, I feel like for a lot of people, this is going to be the tank that they wanted when they were trying to build a tank Alta Mueller. Okay, because this guy can move around on the battlefield, and he has a large range on his tanking ability. And on top of that, he gives an aura. So he's like, okay guys, look, even if I can't be there to tank for you, here, you'll take this much less % damage, and you'll take, his aura is awesome. And we're gonna look at his talent and everything, but pretty much running this faction team, and I ran this faction today, all right, and they're all like 2,500 to 3,200, something like that. They're all right characters, okay, and it was surprisingly effective, especially with Lestel there. Okay, what Rachel can do is, we're going to talk about her separately, because she's just like a whole rigmarole, and Rachel is the one that I got on my free-to-play too. So I have two Rachels, and I also have her leveled up on my free-to-play account to like level 42, and I put healing runes on her, because that's really what, I don't have a healer on my free-to-play account, and I'll get into that. But regardless, these guys work together amazing. Much better than I thought they would have. Okay, Landis's tanking ability is surprisingly good, and he can retaliate against ranged attackers, rogues, anything within 2 blocks. So that's really, really awesome. Okay, but if you want to make this guy work as a tank, okay, it's kind of like the Bernhard scenario all over again. Now you have to go into your tank, your troop trees, and you have to build, those troops for as much defense as possible, instead of just being balanced and mostly offensive like you would want your flyers or things for your damage dealers. Now, because a lot of your cavalry skills are going to be set up for damage. Okay, when you're picking cavalry, it's because it's like units that Leon uses and cavalry units use that do damage. You're primarily going to go for the damage points first. But if you're going to use him, I mean, he can get the Dark Guard, but then I feel like it takes away from him a little bit, because if you're going to have this guy be a tank, you're going to want him to be a tank on horseback that can travel. And that is one of his huge advantages, is he can tank over here and then over here, far away. He can move, okay? So I put steel on him to take any damage that I can away, because that really is what he's gonna thrive as a tank. Okay, I don't see him doing as much by just attacking people. All right, so, and that's what I got out of it too. He retaliates good, and he does good damage. You got to take either the guard cavalry or the ones that ignore damage, the red ones, the red cavalry units that what is it? They just, as long as they have 80% health, they take 30% less damage or whatever it is. I'm sure you can get it much higher. Okay, so, and it worked good. It worked good. I had no problem with the map. They absolutely slaughtered everything, you know. And then Rachel's I was the most surprised with, because I didn't know how they were going to balance her as a healer and a damage dealer. By the way, guys, the reason they put these two on a banner together is because they do work well together. Okay, pretty much what she does is she stands next to Landius, and Rachel, she throws a bunch of magic attacks, and when she damages people, she heals the people next to her. So she heals Landius. So I can see how they run together really well, and if you throw these two princesses in, they're just awesome headhunters, and I can't say anything bad about either of them. They're amazing. The mage, especially Cellophane, this is so great. And then you have, of course, Rachel throwing. That's what I like about this. These guys bring mechanics. Okay, Rachel's got an amazing 2-turn break on her AoE ability that just wrecks. Okay, and then you have even Lestelle, who has a super high intelligence, and she's doing magic attacks. And so is Cellophane. You're gonna wreck with magic. All right, after this girl throws her AoE and damages everybody, she's gonna break their magic by 30% for 2 turns. And then everyone's going to get to capitalize on that. And Lestelle does a shit ton of magic damage. So it's really an effective combo. Alright. So, and of course, Landius and Rachel, they get much better as you star them up. For them to really shine. I mean, when their talents get up there, I can just see them completely wrecking, because they do have really good talents. So I managed to get Landis this high, and then even, you know, the thing is, even when he's not tanking, he can go off and attack somebody, and he can do good damage because he's still a cavalry unit at the end of the day. He's doing a lot better than Freya. Okay, I can tell you that right now. When he attacks somebody, he's still going to just be a generic cavalry unit attack, which is better than just damn near any lancer attack. So he's always got that going for him too. Is he as defensive? Is he gonna take, you know, really hard hits? That's yet to be seen. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna be able to really take end game. I don't know. Maybe he can. I'll have to see. I'm on my way. Okay, I don't want to say too much about that yet. But from what I've seen, mid game, no problem, and he still gets to hit as a cavalry unit. Okay. So, and his fusion power is awesome. It's steady. It's constant. You can always control it. It's easy. And that's useful. On top of that, I mean, the other characters in this fusion group, I mean, the two princesses, they're gnarly. They're nar. Okay? The Captain Beards loves playing with Angelica, and I could see why. She's awesome. You know, when her troops die, she gets to have another action. She can either run away or get healed, or she can just attack again. It's pretty sweet. Alright, and Cellophane has built-in clock, and that it's just crazy. And when her talent goes up, like, she gets to just throw her abilities left and right, and they do a ton of damage. And what Rachel brings to the table is her abilities are strong against mages. So she's like a mage killer, and we're going to look at her. But first of all, Landis, this tank ability, okay, Resplendent Legend. Resplendent Legends, yes. Attack and defense increase significantly for all Yles Legends allies within range, and damage increases by 15%. Woo! When not battling units over which you have a class advantage. So just about everything, okay? Last for turns, great. That is just awesome. But his tank ability is really what's unique, and I think it brings a new type of mechanic, because other tanks don't do this, right? They're not giving you like this three box aura that is increasing. Let's see if I can read this. Bears all attacks for allies within 1 block Friendly units within 2 blocks. Yeah, there's the challenge for today, guys. See if you can read this while the screen is flashing. 30% less likely to be critically hit. So everybody within 3 blocks is 30% less to be critically hit. That's good. And takes 15% less range damage. So he's good against range damage, and that's awesome. And he also gets to counter range damage. I don't know how the dude just pulls a damn crossbow out of his I don't know, but he gets to retaliate. And I watched this happen, okay? I actually did test this. So he was able to retaliate, and he retaliated for good damage. It was great. It was just like he was hitting him like a cavalry unit. So this guy is great. He's anti-archer, it seems like, and as long as they're not catapults and they're more than 2 blocks, he can retaliate against anything within 2 blocks. So that's great. Rogues, just the majority of things are only going to be a block or 2 away when they attack you. Alright. Active. Guard increases to 2 blocks and command range increases to 3 blocks. And command is that ability that reduces the likeliness of getting critically hit, which is huge alone right there. So everybody around, he's like, hey, even if I can't reach you and tank for you, guess what? You're still going to take less, and you're still going to be better off from just being around me. So that's pretty cool. It's awesome that he can do that, but I don't want to give anyone a seizure, so there we go. All I had to do was hit back, and it stabilized. Okay. And then, okay, hold on. Before we move on, another reason why I was really excited, and every Dark Reincarnate player should be, is because we just received Farik here, okay? Just off of her talent alone, she is a bad hombre, okay? She just is, guys. She's like Dark Reincarnate's Kirikaze as far as putting work in. Like, she can do a lot, and just playing her in Guild Wars and, you know, getting, as soon as you activate her ability, she gets an extra turn. That's sweet. That is so sweet. And as you star her up, that'll happen more often and often, because the cooldown will go down on that from 5 turn to, regardless, she managed to kill something even though mine's only level 7. It's crazy. And I know she got a boost, like a 40% boost for being on that map, but still, she's level 7. So actually, that's why we were grinding out that map in the beginning of this video, because I wanted to feed some sort of pots into her. Okay, so there, now she should just be way more effective. She's awesome. Do not sleep on her for Dark Reincarnate. This really helps my free-to-play account, because I just pulled a Bezel, so now I got Edgar and her to run with Bezel, and I think she can, man, if she's as strong as like Kirikaze is, I got no problem running SR characters. In my opinion, they can be just as strong as SSR characters. Don't kid yourself, okay? They really just, when you look at the damage that they're doing, and I've had to swap in an SR character instead of an SSR character, and it was Cher. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like, Kirikaze has proven his worth to me, and it's easy to get these guys' build up to, you know, a good amount of strength. So Farik also belongs to another faction group, but we're not even going to get into that. She belongs to Dark Reincarnate, so with Bezel, she's great. Just from what I've seen, she's great. Her abilities are great. And mine's only level 7, so I'm super excited. I mean, I'm probably going to crack into her after I'm done with this video, but I wanted to tell you guys that's awesome. And I don't know if a lot of people are going to be as excited about her as I am, but I got 52 gold potions to throw on her, so I'll be doing that when this isn't all laggy for whatever reason. Meh. Okay, so, and I'm sure they'll have some badass skins for her. I like the fact that she has like this floating axe, and she gets a ranged attack. She attacks like a rogue, so that's just super sweet. People are saying she's just like kind of like a Zarita, and she can put in work, and I definitely agree just from what I've seen alone. Okay, but I can't talk about her too much yet because I ran her at level 7, guys, so disclaimer right there. Okay, so again, I ran both of these. I ran the full Yules SSR team with Cellophane and Angelina or Angelica or whatever her name is, and that was great. So Rachel, this was kind of interesting because when I got her for my free-to-play account, I was psyched. I was absolutely psyched. I don't have Landius on my free-to-play account, and I probably won't get him. The thing is, I burned through most of my tickets trying to pull Alana because I just pulled a Bezel, and the banner was going to go down, and I was just like, I had like 30 tickets, so I threw 20 of them on there, and I didn't get her. I got some SRs, so that was cool. And today I only had 9 tickets to throw, and she came down on like the 3rd one. So it was just sweet right off rip, you know, but at that point I was more or less worried about getting her on my main account. But I had some crystals, and I think I put like $60 into it and got a ton of crystals, and I had no problem getting both characters doing single pulls. So it was just great, super happy, saved a bunch of crystals, even gambled some on items, which I shouldn't have, I feel bad for, but I had to celebrate, right? Meh. I'm happy you got both characters. Didn't cost me much at all, so this was cool. This was definitely a win, and that's why I love Langrisser, okay? If this was Brave Exvius, I'd have a quarter of a unit right now. So, alright, so Rachel, first of all, if you have the Holy Grail, I suggest putting it on Rachel because it literally, in a way, lets her double tap her talent, okay, for units standing around her. And since you already have to be standing around her to get your heals from her, we're going to talk about that, you might as well capitalize on it by letting her double tap it, and that's what Holy Grail does. It lets you heal people standing right next to you, you know, so it'll proc and that'll heal. So that's awesome, okay? On this one, because I'm really using her to hit and I want clock on her, so I can get her ability that magic breaks and does AoE damage up, you know. This is the build that I'm going with. I'm putting clock on this, but okay, I wanted to try something different on my free to play, and since I was excited about her being a healer to begin with, I put healing runes on her. So she heals, and it helps. She heals a lot more. I mean, if you think about it, she heals, guys, I don't want anyone to think that she heals like Geralt and Layla. It's not like that. You're going to catch real heals off of her. Like, I know what she's done. I can already tell by how much she's healing in the thousands from everybody standing around her that, like, it's not going to be, no, here's 300-400 hit points to everyone when I do damage. No, she can actually put in substantial heals, okay, to anybody within 2 blocks of her. And if you have the Holy Grail, you get to like double tap that, so that's just super awesome. Purgatory's great on her, so she's throwing sticky bombs while she's doing stuff too. The Dark Robe, I just had one and threw it on her, and then the Ghost Mask, I need to do something better for that. One of her stats that they tell you that you need is her magic defense, because they probably figure you're going to be going up against a bunch of other mages. That is one of the best things about her. This ability right here does more damage. Arcane Blast. It does more damage to mages, I think. Attack all enemies within range, dealing 0.36 AoE damage. Deals additional damage to mages and holy units. That's a big deal. This is just really gonna wreck a healer or a mage, and I like that, okay? That's really, really, really effing useful, okay? And reduces the target's magic defense by 30% for 2 turns. And if you can get clock to proc and you can spam this, you are doing awesome, okay? And then, of course, she comes with Holy Ward, and I love that. That's just nice, because now she can target heal the person with the lowest hit points, so like your tank or whoever took the most damage, and then she's still gonna heal everyone around her for her couple thousand or whatever, so that's nice. And any of these abilities that she can swap out, like Lightning Strike, any of these 1-slot abilities, I'm happy about, because all of these do, like, this one does more damage when battling against cavalry. That's a huge difference. And then the fireball does more when you're battling against infantry. So the fact that you have access to these and swap them out, it's just great. I love it when they have these. So that extra damage actually goes a long way. You'll be surprised. And this girl can put in a lot of damage and a good amount of healing. And she is obviously being ran with Lestelle. Okay, so between her healing and Lestelle being there and healing, and if you want to throw in a juggler and that kind of healing, you would be surprised at how much just dumb healing you can get and how much it can get you through. So that's always cool. Arcane Bezel, increased damage dealt by 10%. Can't complain about that. Okay. After actively dealing damage, that's when she's going to heal people. And it's like 2 times her intelligence, which is good. It's not no, you know, she's definitely out healing Geralt and Layla. So, but in the earlier content, you can like run her with Geralt and Layla, and because you're not really playing with fusion powers yet, you know, on my other account, that's just where it's at, where I have like Basil's fusion power, and I have like nobody to run with Basil except for Egbert, and now I'm going to have Farik, so that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna help a lot. I literally just went from having just a fusion buffer to actually having a dark reincarnation team to run if I want to. You know, they won't all be the best characters, but I can still make pretty good use out of them. So that's pretty cool, okay? Even though, and this is what's cool too, like I said, for my free-to-play. So these characters really fit in for me for my free-to-play, so I was excited about that. And as far as my main account here, they fit for me because this is a whole nother fusion power to play with, Untitled Legends. And the fusion power just happens to be super convenient, and it's great, and it gives Angelica and it gives Cellophane more use, and I think that's awesome. And Lestelle, it's just that she's in there, so there's a lot this team can do. And Lanford, I have Lanford too, so it's like it's one of these little specialty teams where they're all SSR characters. I'm lucky enough to have them on my main, but that's why this was such a huge impact on my account, because now I can really do something with this team if I want. Of course, I have Princess as well, and I have Dark, Reincarnate, and I have Empire, and about the only thing I'm missing is Arita. But most players can't say that. So for most players, these 2 characters dropping, I mean, most players are going to be working on a team that they already have halfway going. They're not just going to abandon whatever they got to start over fresh because they pulled Landis and happen to have Angela. No. You know, you're not going to, you know, if you're already been building up and working up your Empire or your Origins of Light, most people are just going to stick with that, okay? And if they get one of these along the way, great, you know. But it's a great banner, and I don't know really where the hype is about it because I've pretty much been working all week, but I stayed up late to do this and to actually put some work into these characters so I could run them and actually try them out. So I'm psyched just to see what I can do with Farik. Because she a freaked out. So, but this whole thing with Lestelle and the Untitled Legends, Vladimir approves. And I know Captain Beards, he plays with Angelina. So, and she's definitely good. Okay. So, that's just awesome. I can see a lot of good, okay, with this, especially with the support that Landis can give these 2 princesses. The synergy is just great, okay? And then of course Rachel's awesome. I already explained how she's good by just standing next to Landius and everybody else and just healing them and doing a shit ton of damage, you know, really, because she can bank on her own AoE magic defense break, and then she's doing a shit ton of magic defense. And if your people are positioned right, which for some fights that's easy. For some fights you're just camping around an enemy, you can position yourself right and make sure that everyone's always getting heals off of her. If you have Holy Grail, it lets you double tap it in a way. It's awesome, really adds to her. I highly suggest it. I wish I had the Holy Grail in my ult. I don't, but even without it, she's still healing good, you know. So all in all, this was great for me. Okay, and I think for a lot of people, these characters are going to be very useful down the line, but I'm just not hearing too much hype about them now, but I'm happy. So I don't even have them completely filled out. They're not well-rounded yet. Their bonds are at like 8%, 4%, 3%. So I got to work on all that, but already they're shining. These are great characters. They bring a lot to it, and they give me a whole new party to play. So I'm psyched about that. They make my other characters worth more, So that's where I'm at. I'm not going to try to pull Landius for my alt account because, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to throw tickets and whatever I get on it, but I don't anticipate getting that many more resources. But the thing is, I don't know, I'd have to see him really tank better than Freya for the other account to really try to go for him. And I don't know, his tanking I'm not sure about because he's a cavalry unit. The damage is there. I saw that. I saw him tanking. The aura he gives is great. It does not stack with Lanford's command, okay? But I can only imagine how strong this guy's talent is when he gets, to be 6-star. And the same thing with Rachel over here. So they're definitely very strong characters. So that's definitely the word on that. But this is where I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to go do some Guild Wars before the server shut down because I need to catch up on that. So I managed to get them all to like level 45, and I managed to get, their fusion and all that. And they're good characters. So that's my word on it. If anybody thinks otherwise, let me know. If you agree, hit like, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I'm doing more content like this, and the more I play with a unit, the more I'll go back and do more analysis on them and give you guys like the best info I can on them. So, but I wanted to put something out today, the day that this stuff dropped. So your boy's been grinding, putting in work for you. This is the official word. All right, this is a good banner. Depends on where you're at. You might want to pull on it. So this is Vlad. I'm out. Peace.